The star where Jesus Christ is the star. Coming to you live right here on Omega Radios, the one and only Let's Talk Real Estate with Dr. Mark Hardy, Tanya Lee, Tanya Palmer, and Earon Lee. Keep it locked in right here on Omega Radio.
Welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate with Bishop Mark Hardy of Coldwell Banco, along with Tanya Palmer Lodge and Earon Lee of Central.
Hi, greetings and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate, the best real estate show on Omega Radio. Great to have you tuning in and sharing in this wonderful and informative program. Whether you are getting ready to hit the road, to drop off the children and then to go on to your planned activities for today, or you're heading home from a hard evening or night of work, we thank you for joining us here on Let's Talk Real Estate. With me in studio are the dynamic duo from Century Point Lending Solutions, Tanya Palmer and Earon Lee, the mortgage solution pair.
Good morning, Mr. Mark. How you doing on this wonderful Monday?
Great.
Good morning, everyone. We're happy to be here, and it's a lovely morning.
Certainly. I am Mark Hardy from Coldwell Banker, your needed real estate agent. When you talk real estate, you need to get in touch with me as you look to buy, sell, or invest. 786-327-8844. Directly, you call, no operator. You get me directly. Yes, 786-327-8844.
And you can always reach us here at Century Point Lending at 954-890-4320. All right, Mark, let's get into it.
Yes, certainly. Guys, on the weekend, I went to my barber shop. And interestingly, there were some guys in there sitting and talking about when is the right time to buy. Some even mentioned that it's not the right time because they are waiting on prices to come down. There were those who claimed that it's a bubble and it's going to burst.
Did you encourage them to listen to us this morning, Mark?
Certainly. And I had to get involved.
Oh, of course. That's a conversation you need to be in the middle of.
Certainly. What is your opinion? Is it the right time to buy?
The right time to buy or to sow a seed was yesterday. Okay? But if you miss that opportunity, then there's always today. Okay? Yes. We've been hearing this conversation about this bubble popping or the market is going to crash and the house price has got to come down and so on and so on. We've been hearing that for the last 2.5 years.
And it has not happened.
And it has not happened yet. But in fact, what's happening is that you have seen interest rates increase. You have seen home prices increase over the last 2.5 years to the point now where I feel, confident in saying that house prices along with interest rates have kind of hit their plateau. Mm-hmm. You're going to see some movement. Just personal opinion, the houses that were a little bit overpriced, they're getting adjusted, right? If it was $650 and it was really supposed to be $615, it's coming back to the $615, okay? But an overall bubble, no. I don't see that happening. I don't see any indicators in the market that's pointing to that at this point.
Certainly, I share that opinion. And also, you left out one of the important things that have been happening in the market over the past 2.5 years, as you said. And that has to do with rental prices.
Oh, absolutely. That's complementary of the inventory issues that we're seeing. There's just not enough homes for everybody who is looking to buy right now. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to our high school economics class when we talked about supply and demand, right? Yes. If the supply is low and the demand stays the same or increases, you're going to have a reaction in the prices. And that's exactly what we're seeing, guys. Exactly what we're seeing.
And so what you need to do, you need to look carefully at prices. You need to look carefully at your own situation when it comes to paying rent. Because again, we want to remind you that when you pay rent, you're paying somebody's mortgage, you're paying somebody's maintenance costs, and you're paying interest because they are doing a business. Why pay rent when you can own your own home and build equity in it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, one of the other things that I think people are scared of, and I think you guys touched on it, is that interest rate. You know, the fear is interest rates. And I think we've always had, I think we had this discussion also this weekend of interest rates where they are, as far as they're higher than what they were 2 years ago. And I think Earon gave a perfect example when we were having the conversation with someone, and it was interest rates dropped because of the economic crisis that we were in. Now we are back to where we used to be. So the fear again, fear is always the fear of whether it's a good time to buy is also coming from that. But what people need to do is pick up the phone and give us a call. Again, our number is 954-890-4320. Reach us at Century Point Lending, and we're able to guide you, right? And then we have Mark over here that is gonna, get you. Well, first of all, we have to get your pre-approved so Mark can get you out there. But we need to understand that the market is shifting. Whether it goes up, whether it goes down, it's always a good time to buy if you are ready.
Yeah. Mark, and we say this almost every week, but, we all have fingers. We all have fingerprints, right?
Yes.
And no two persons are the same. So your financial readiness, the next person's financial readiness are not going to be the same. So guys, in order to figure out where you are, to get your starting point, get your point, your path forward, let's give us a call. Come on in. Let's sit down. Let's look at it. Let's take those fingerprints and those snapshots, right? And figure out what you need to do to purchase that home of your choice or your desire. Because no two people are ever going to be the same. Don't sit back and listen to Mark's story or listen to Tanya's story or even my story. Come and get your own story, okay? Again, that's 954-890-4320.
Well, one of the things that the mantras that I work with is, and many persons have heard it time and time again, if you keep doing what you have done, you will keep getting what you have gotten.
Same results.
And so we need to change the paradigm. We need to get involved. You need to begin the process. As we have said, let's begin the conversation. Call me 786-327-8844. We are here to help you in owning those that home that you want. Yes, help you to get those keys in your hands and walk with you on that special day when you close and yes, you walk into your own home.
Mark, I share another perspective from this weekend. So on Friday, we took part in a golf tournament with the city of Sunrise.
I saw you guys on social media.
And one of the gentlemen there, we've met him over a period of time now, and his concern, he's on the sidelines waiting for that, never a coming crash, right? But then, interestingly enough, on Friday night, we were sitting with a group of investors from Chicago. And they're here because the South Florida market is vibrant and booming, and they want to get into it to where they have assets that they can rent. Okay, and they're discussing properties that are going to be renting in that $3,000 to $5,000 range, and rates and prices don't scare them. Why is that?
Okay.
Because they have seen the value of the South Florida market. Again, these guys are coming from Indiana, where they're leaving temperatures in the 40s and 50s and coming down to the 70s and 80s. They're leaving, leaves just growing back on the trees to the beach and palm trees.
Yes.
So South Florida market, we live where everybody wants to be. We live in paradise, okay, guys? So we are always going to have that draw. It's time for you to own your piece of the sand.
It is. And now is the time. We can help you. There are a lot of opportunities that are out there. Don't be afraid. We need to begin the conversation. And I want to reach out especially to some of those sellers who you listed your property and it did not sell. We call those expired listings. You were thinking of working with the same agent. While I have nothing against my colleagues, there are those who specialize and know how to get your property sold. I work with Coldwell Banker, and we have a dynamic team And we have platforms on which we can get your property out there before the public. And so call me 786-327-8844. If you have an expired listing, I have the secret to get your property sold. Call me 786-327-8844. Let's work and get that property off the market into the hands of somebody who is really looking for their first, their second, or whatever. Yes, they want to make that purchase and you want to make that sale. Let's make it happen. 786-327-8844. Guys, you mentioned pre-approval. And that is a precursor to even coming to me. Before I can really engage a customer, they need to come to you for pre-approval. Remind our listeners why it is so important.
All right. Well, the pre-approval process. First of all, is transparency. You're coming to us, right? We're looking at your financial picture. We're looking to see what's going to work for you, right? We want to make sure that the property that you're, or anything that you're looking at out there, you don't want to be shopping or looking for something but not even know what your numbers are, right? Not knowing what your payment is going to look like, how much money you're going to need to buy that property. And of course, you want to be comfortable. So the pre-approval process, and it's quite simple. We look at your income, we look at your credit, we look at how much funds you're working with. Now, once we have those things collected, then we're able to sit down with you, go over your financials, and make you feel comfortable at that price point that you want to be before you even start looking for something.
Before you call me.
Exactly. And most importantly, any seller that you're trying to make an offer with wants to know that you are a solid buyer. Because no seller wants to show you their home when they know that you can't even buy it. What's gonna make them feel confident to know that, okay, this person came and looked, I saw their offer come across my desk, I am going to be happy. You need to make sure that you are solid when you're out there looking for your properties.
And it's a waste of my time and your time too if you are out there shopping and you don't know what you can afford.
Absolutely. Mark, I'll add a piece to that pre-approval. You also need to make sure you are getting quality pre-approvals. Okay?
Okay.
We had a file drop in our lap. Was it Friday? They are a week away from the scheduled closing date. And a huge portion of the young lady's income cannot be used. Okay.
That's tragic.
So it's going to be tragic for the seller because the seller has wasted a month now while under contract. The buyer has wasted a month now and potentially may have their escrow deposits at risk because the person that they got a pre-approval from was not thorough enough. So guys, I'm not saying we're better than anybody else, but we are better than most. And we do a very thorough job in qualifying you to make sure that when we issue that piece of paper that says pre-approval letter from Century Point Lending Solutions, you are getting to the closing table, guys. Give us a call, 954-890-4320. Let's make sure you are solid enough to buy that house that you want to live in.
Yes. And that's why we work together to help you along that path. It's important that you dot the I's and cross the T's. Yes. And so we are here to help you to get into your own home. Call me 786-327-8844. As a matter of fact, what was exciting as we came off the program last week, the phones went crazy.
That's a good that's what I like to call a good problem, Mark.
That is indeed so. And so we're here to serve you. One person asked me, so Mark, if I were to work with you as a buyer, how much is it going to cost me? They were surprised when I told them it costs you absolutely nothing from the start of the conversation to when you receive the keys to your own home. Listen to me. It costs you nothing when you work with me in the purchase of your home. Call me 786-327-8844. We talk. It costs you nothing. I work with you to find that home, having been pre-qualified. It costs you nothing. And when you receive the keys and walk into your own home and you hug your children and you hug your significant other? Yes, it cost you nothing, and I'll give you a gift at the end.
We all give gifts. I hope I'm getting one of those gifts. But again, guys, reach out to us, Century Point Lending Solutions, 954-890-4320. And you can reach us also on our social media at Century Point Lending Solutions. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, guys, absolutely. It's that first step, right? Pick up that phone and, as Mark says, let's have that conversation. If you're not ready today, let's get you ready for tomorrow.
Yes, yes. And that's all we want to do. Let's start talking. You're planning to buy down the road? Let's start talking. You plan to buy? Listen to me now. You plan to buy next year? We need to help you to put the figures together. And we are going to talk some more about the importance of that medium to long-term plan, especially when you're filing your taxes. We'll talk to you. Tax period is gone, but we'll talk again about it. It's important. It's very, 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 very important. But we need to begin the conversation.
Yes,
786-327-8844. That's how you get me. And again, I say, no operator, direct link.
That was Let's Talk Real Estate. Join us again next Monday at 11 a.m. for another informative program in the series Let's Talk Real Estate.
Want to thank you for tuning to Let's Talk Real Estate with Dr. Mark Hardy, Tanya Palmer, and Earon Lee right here on Omega Radio. Keep it locked in and don't touch the dial. Don't go anywhere. We got more coming your way with the real talk, where the walk is the walk and the talk is the talk.
You're bigger than the problems I